The following video has been created without the use of AI. Please support your human content creators by liking the video and commenting something down below. Subscribing is optional. Now please, enjoy the show.
Sometimes things had to be done differently. He lied in wait, going dormant, baiting, scheming, until two rats finally came to the cheese. Food was scarce after all, and the little creatures crawling through the bowels of the factory went head over heels for anything to eat. So when a pristine snack machine stood in the middle of a cell, its packaged up sweets, seemingly never spoiling snacks, flickered in one of the prison complex's cells. But the trap was way too obvious, and yet, as you and Doey stood before the entrance to it, you couldn't help but salivate. Doey, however, crossed his arms.
Well, Mimi, I don't,
You exhaled. I know it's a trap. We both can guess that, but you gave Doey a look. Can you, slip through the cracks like usual? Tapping his fingers together in thought, Doey leaned against the railing behind the both of you.
It's a solitary confinement cell. Its doors are too thick for me to push myself through. The doctor hasn't made a move in a long time too, and this is what he comes back with?
You swiped a hand over your salivating mouth. Well, I kinda wanna, The silence between the two of you was deafening. Risk it?
Absolutely not,
He said, but you already went inside.
Oh dear Mimi.
You pressed your body against the machine's glass, staring at the random collection of candy bars and snacks. Concerned, Doey looked around, while you leaned down, reaching with your hand into the machine. Looking at your butt. Like that, Doey could feel his face heat up. You were a Mimi doll. The Mimi dolls were intended to be the upgrade of the puppy dolls, marketed to teens instead of children, ditching the small, big-sized, bug-eyed creatures that were the puppy line with more realistic body proportions, and normal clothes, which came in multiple themes based around the different subcultures of teenagers, specifically in the 70s and 80s. You specifically, the titular Mimi, were based on skater subculture, ditching the usual dress a doll would wear at playtime for ripped jeans and a black tank top with a sunflower pattern on the chest. You had long, wild blonde hair that sadly in your toy form didn't regrow, so you lamented every single hair that you lost to the conditions of the factory. You also had lost an eye during a harrowing encounter with the prototype. Your plastic skin had a slight caramel tan to it, and the joints of your body were creaky and occasionally blood was seeping through them. This included your knees and elbow joints, hands, and even your eyes. You didn't feel any pain from these wounds, which concerned the safe haven medic a lot. As of course in this place, transfusions due to blood loss were impossible, giving you an almost zombie-like appearance if it wasn't for your quite alive-looking plastic skin. However, being one of the tall, bigger bodies, it fell onto you and Doey to go scavenging, while the small toys stayed in haven for their own safety. But since you couldn't really turn your body into a weapon like Doey or Mommy Longlegs or Huggy Wuggy, you had to rely on tools. You reached for your belt where loosely hung a metal bat. It really was just a thick pipe that you wrapped some duct tape around for a makeshift handle, and had wrapped a barbed wire around it. Carefully taking a step back, you held the thing in both hands.
You might want to cover your eyes, Mimi.
You looked at Doey. How am I gonna do that?
Oh, right. Already lost one. Don't lose the second one, okay?
You swung the badge, smashing against the snack machine's glass, shattering it in thousands of pieces all over the ground. A few bars spilling from the impact. Grinning widely, you brushed the glass off of one and picked it up, opening it with your teeth. The delicious smell of chocolate entered your lungs, and you almost passed out from the sensation and anticipation of the taste. With shaking hands, you bit into it. The chocolate made an audible cracking noise as it caramel inside gushed into your mouth. After eating what you would still consider a human for so long, tasting the mix of sugar, chocolate, and artificial flavors was like the greatest drug. And finally, Doey gave up. Sighing, he stepped forward, past the door. Leaning down, he picked up a small bag of gummy bears. And with a cautious smile, he opened it, pouring the rainbow-colored treats into his gaping jaw. He munched loudly and groaned in delight.
Man.
You nodded, understanding exactly what he was feeling right now. Smacking his lips, the blob leaned forward, picking up the spread-out candy bars.
Let's just get as much as we can carry, okay? The quicker we're out here, the better.
You nodded, but just as you reached into the snack machine, a loud, ear-piercing clong made you jump into Doey's arms out of fear. Scared, the both of you stared towards the noise. It was the door of the cell. It closed.
No.
"No!" you repeated louder than him. Jumping off the doorman, you ran towards the metal wall, slamming your fist against it. No! So it had been a trap, thought Doey, as they immediately began looking around for an escape. You cursed, slamming your bat against the door while Doey remained level-headed. You tired yourself out. Sweat and blood were pouring out of your joints as you finally went down, standing there for a moment on one knee, completely out of breath. A hand suddenly placed on you, and you turned to see the doorman. He just shook his head in sadness.
We were captured. Yeah, I took the time to look for an exit, cleaned up the glass shards, and put the candy back into the machine.
You followed his hand as he pointed around the room.
To say the least, we're stuck.
With your heads hung low, the both of you sat down in front of the candy machine.
Damn it,
you muttered.
I know, but we're still breathing.
You looked at him, borderline offended.
Look, think about it this way.
He smiled reassuringly.
The doctor set this up clearly, meaning that more than likely he's going to want to experiment on us.
You deadpanned.
I know this sounds bad, but you can take any chance to run during these experiments. Trust me, you'll survive.
The sigh that followed you made Doey's smile soften ever so slightly. Placing his hand on your back, he tried to comfort you.
Are you wondering what the others are up to?
You blinked. You weren't, but yeah.
They're fine. If we don't return, they will look for us.
And they're going to search the prison complex too?
Of course.
You smiled. That's good.
I know you haven't been part of Safe Haven for a long time, but we're a family, Mimi. You'll see. They saved me out of a pickle before, too.
I know. I mean, one of Mummy Longlegs told me. He patted your back reassuringly. 2 of his 3 hearts began beating faster at the smile that you were giving. Only Kevin was not in the mood for emotions right now. Doey's more rebellious self was thinking about ways to survive and escape, even thinking about a way to eat you should the food in here run out. You leaned against Doey, whose soft dough belly was a great pillow. Thank you. You purred. Doey's hand on your back, it was shaking slightly. You felt warm and soft. Not to mention, Jack, 1/3 of the people who made up Doey, had a crush on you. And he was right now rotating, figuratively, not literally. And while against his nature, he started wrestling for control over his body with Matthew, causing Doey to gasp. Your eyes moved up to him as the doorman rubbed his head. What's wrong? Looking down at you, he smiled widely.
Oh, nothing, just a little headache.
He sounded much more excited and friendly now. Jack could feel the confusion of the others, as he almost never took charge of their shared body, but the back of Doey's hand gently patted your cheek. Jack could feel the dismissive sneer from Kevin and the begrudging acceptance of Matthew, seeing their reactions as a reluctant okay to keep going. So what do we even do in solitary until the doctor arrives? You purred. He smiled and exhaled. There isn't much, I mean. And I think boredom would only make us go feral. With a finger you traced along his thigh.
I think that's the point. Perhaps the good doctor didn't expect me to have company.
No, probably not. You smirked, your fingers digging into his dough a little.
You seem happy about this.
Happy? Oh, no. I'm super scared. Just, you're here. I know you'll protect me. After all, you're Safe Haven's #1 hero.
I suppose that would make you not scared.
He chuckled awkwardly, but he was kind of proud of himself. He liked having his ego stroked. You rolled around, resting your chin on him. You know, before I joined Safe Haven, I thought this place had nothing good in it, but I have you. You make everything better.
Mimi.
You smirked and leaned up, kissing him, leaving behind the imprint of your lips on his dough face, and the taste of his chemicals on you. You suppressed a grimace, while he brushed over the spot. Your eyes narrowed. Come on, we're both adults by now, right? He nodded. So why don't we have some fun, Don't you think the doctor would absolutely hate us enjoying this?
I think I agree.
You fully climbed onto his legs, straddling him. I know you look at me, Doey. Isn't this what you want? You said before you could say anything. You grabbed the bottom of your tank top and pulled it off. He gasped. Sure, your chest was smooth, but as you leaned in closer, you whispered, My Barbie anatomy stops just below my navel, if you get what I mean. He chuckled.
To tell you the truth, when I turned into this, I was a little too young to know about this stuff.
Tell me, how old are you?
I'm 20.
Admitted Jack. You were a good 4 years older, perhaps that's why you knew about this. And confidently you took his wrist, placing it on your chest. Come on, squeeze me, Doey. A moment of hesitation later he did, and you could feel your nerves fire. Good boy, Doey. It might be plastic, but just beneath it is just sensitive muscle and flesh and... He squeezed again. He didn't know why, but he really enjoyed it. And once you place his other hand on your butt, you just told him, why don't you explore on your own? Figure it out yourself. It might be fun.
But I don't want to hurt you.
You deadpanned. Doey, look at me. He placed the hand on his cheek, but then he forced his gaze away. Huh?
You're bleeding again.
You touched your face, realizing that the seams around your eyes were leaking. I don't feel any pain from that. Just ignore it.
I can't ignore it when you're hurt.
You placed a finger on his mouth, and then leaned onto his shoulder, sinking your teeth into his dough, gently but surely. Though you winced mentally, his body tasted gross, but that was understandable. Doey, as in the toy Doey, had been purposefully made absolutely vile so kids would rather place... Doey, as in the Doman toy that was sold by Playtime, had been purposefully made absolutely vile to taste so kids would play with it instead of eat. However, biting him seemed to work as his entire body shuddered.
What's that?
He said, surprised.
You're biting me, but it feels good.
You licked over his dough before leaning back. Your teeth were grinding as you suppressed the urge to vomit, but some of his blue slime was covering your mouth, which made his drop a little. It was absolutely beautiful to see, and he wanted to see more of your body covered in his slime. And that's when he pushed. You were pressed onto your back, the little bump making you gasp pleased.
Mimi,
he purred excited before finally letting his body do the talking. Doey was quite the aggressive lover, and yet super thoughtful, but also a little shy. You didn't know why, but in reality, it's because Matthew, Kevin, and Jack all found enjoyment in this. Safe to say, you did a good job at pleasing all three of them, without even knowing that you were You did a good job at pleasing all three of them, without even knowing that, technically, you just had a foursome. Exhausted, you lied on your back, only noticing that the vending machine was lying on its back. You were completely unclothed, covered in a thick layer of doughy slime, while he was sitting next to the machine. You rubbed your head, realizing just how sticky you were. It practically dripped off of you. Hey, morning. You rubbed your head. You needed something to drink.
Did you enjoy it? It was our first time. I mean, my first time.
You nodded. Of course, I did. That was wonderful. Almost better than... You blinked. Nothing better. Doey's smile widened, but a moment later he frowned. What's wrong, big boy?
This is wrong.
He pointed between his legs, almost expecting his dough to be shaped into the thick and agile tentacle that explored you last night. Almost expecting his dough to still be shaped into that thick, agile tentacle that explored your insides quite thoroughly. But no, between Doey's legs was a drain.
The vending machine stood on it.
Remember, we, kicked it over by accident. You blushed, which turned the plastic on your face red. Oh, right. I guess we kinda forgot the world around us, didn't we? Anyways, he quickly said. He didn't want lewd thoughts right now. That would just make his dough a little stiff.
I tested it. I can fit through it.
Oh?
Yeah, but you obviously can't.
You looked up at his face and forced a smile, a gentle one. You can go, was all you said.
Really?
Go on. And then, save me. It took Doey a minute of hesitation, but then he really liked the idea of saving you. He pressed his hand onto the drain's grate and forced the screws out. The hole was small, but he pushed himself through it. But before his head vanished, he quickly said,
I'll be back in a few days. Try not to go feral, please.
He then put the grate back, and he was gone. You inhaled, and then exhaled. The expression changed, like shattering a porcelain mask. With your hands folded behind your back, slime still dripping off you, you skipped towards the camera in the room that so far had been offline. Reaching up, you just barely managed to hit the turn on button. You then returned to the middle of the room, and a moment later...
Mimi. Ugh. What happened to you?
You tilted your head. I don't know what you're talking about, Doctor.
You're covered in his slime.
Innocently raised your arms. Oh, this? But you told me to be convincing. You smirked. But I promise, all I was thinking of while he was doing me, all I thought about was you.
Don't patronize me, Mimi.
The prison door soon opened. Inside came Dr. Sawyer's custom automaton, one specifically crafted to entertain you. It had its sharp edges and skeleton covered by a purple translucent silicone shell, giving it a muscular, almost human body, as well as a functioning groin. A groin that you were well accustomed with. On the screen was Dr. Sawyer's eye. It blinked at you, but there was something in its right hand. Your eyes widened. The automaton was holding a hose. Uh-oh. Cold water was sprayed against you. You shivered and screamed. It was quite painful. Wet and freezing, you shivered as you watched the rainbow-colored slime vanish through the drain. Arms crossed for the slightest nest of warmth. And then, the automaton finally approached you, dropping the hose. He opened up his black trench coat, revealing the silicone body beneath. But before you could make a lewd comment, the doctor wrapped his arms around you, his heavy TV head resting on top of yours. He felt warm, probably had increased the heat output of the automaton.
Tell me, who do you prefer?
You chuckled. Doctor, are you jealous? The eye on the TV screen narrowed.
I want to make sure your loyalty belongs to me, Mimi. That's all I care about.
You narrowed your eyes seductively, but also you didn't answer immediately, which made him a little impatient.
Mimi?
There was only the slightest hint of agitation. His hands even moved down to your butt, aggressively squeezing your cheeks, making you gasp. You have to force that answer out of me, I suppose. A laughing, crying emoji appeared on the doctor's screen for a moment as he lifted you up, turned you towards the wall, and pushed you up against it.
I know you're just toying with me, Mimi. You wouldn't have turned on my camera if you weren't loyal to me. And I like that.
You giggled.
And yet, still your cockiness has to be punished. And I'll make sure you'll be unable to walk for a while.
Good job for reaching this point in the video. typing cucumber water in the comments below to show everyone that you did. Anyways, we reached also the ending of the video, and I would like to shout out all of my lovely channel members, specifically my darling stewards. We have Mimi Momo, Jaws, Melofia, Maxicat, Allison Watkins, Mystic Jade 111, Giovanna Moretti, Twilight Mia, Angry Boxman, Hella, Anonymous Weep, and Nicodemus D. Without you, I could not do this. And without my other channel members, I could not do this either. Your support is greatly appreciated. And please remember to like and subscribe. That would really help me out, as that also tells the YouTube algorithm that you enjoyed the video. And it would lead to my video being more advertised. So please do that. Thank you.